Yo, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome to a franchise, the beginning of a brand new franchise where we're not going to try to rebuild this team in one day. We're going to try to spend the next couple of months playing with the Cincinnati Reds and bringing them back from the dumpster and the grave that they've currently dug themselves into. I'm ready for this. Now, I think the Cincinnati Reds are a very interesting team because they've kind of had prospects for a while. They've had some guys that they've been kind of waiting for a while. They've had some good players and they've let some good players go. Kind of like a lot of teams are at the bottom, but I feel like this is such a pivotal year for the Cincinnati Reds because this is kind of a make it or break it year. This is kind of the year where if they don't go full in on developing their talent or maybe making some acquisitions, I feel like they're going to be at the bottom of the barrel for the next decade. And so there are some contracts that maybe we offload, some that we can't really do much about in their last few years in the major league level. But I feel like there's a lot of prospects that we can work on and a lot of things that we can do to develop young stars and make the Cincinnati Reds a fun baseball team again. So we're definitely going to start in spring training. We might even play a game or two in spring training. But there's a lot of things we want to take a look at. I want to take a look at our roster, take a look at our rotation, and take a look at the team and see where we believe everyone's going to be going forward. Now, really quickly looking at the major league roster, there's a couple of names that there's just so much potential on this team. Now, obviously, Tyler Mahle, 27. He's an 82 overall, be potential solid pitcher. Luis Castillo, who honestly, I feel like so many years of his career have been wasted in Cincinnati, and he's now 29 and he's at that age. So he's at that age where he's maybe already hit his best years and is going to start regressing, but he's a few years away from regressing really hard. And if this team's not ready, he should have been traded years ago. Now, we've also got Mike Miners, a little bit of veteran presence. But this is the first big name that we are seeing. It's Nick Lodolo. Earlier, his card was not what it should have been, but I'm glad that's fixed. I do believe he did not start on the opening day roster or even on the 40-man, if I saw correctly. We do have Vladimir Gutierrez in the pen as well. And Hunter Green is actually on the 40-man, and I believe he is the fifth man. He will be getting the fifth start for the Cincinnati Reds. He's a 66 overall, first overall pick a couple years ago. A potential, obviously a very important part of the Cincinnati franchise moving forward. Him and Nick Lodolo are two names that we need them to get very good within the next couple of years, actually very quickly. Nick's already 24. Hunter Green only 22, but already in the majors. So Nick will most likely be on our opening day roster. We're not going to try to wait too long to get him up. So that'll be good. Probably the next best pitcher we have in the organization in terms of talent and what we're expecting is Chase Petty. He's still an A-ball, 18 years old, but already a 64 overall with B potential. Some really good stuff there. He's got 81 velo, 95 with the fastball. So you like to see that. We'd like to develop him and try to get him up by like 20, 22, somewhere between 22 and 23 years old. But I think he's going to be a very important part of this organization. Brandon Williamson, also one of the higher prospects in the Cincinnati Reds organization. Although 23 years old, 63 overall, deep potential. I think there is some room for improvement, and maybe he can be an instrumental part of our rotation down the line. To round out the major league starters, we also got Riley O'Brien, Jared Solomon, and Javier San Martin. We also have, well, the biggest problem I think is, one, we don't have a single reliever in our organization with B potential, which isn't that big of a deal. We will try to make some work, and there is some good stuff we have. TJ Antone, I think he's going to be in the major league roster depending on how he does in spring training. Justin Wilson, Zach Godley, Hunter Strickland, obviously some guys who have had some success at the major league level. Tony Santillan, Art Warren, Buck Farmer, very tall, 6'4" reliever in AAA, but he's 31 with deep potential. But we may be able to use him in for the time being, especially, he's making a little bit of money, 1.9. So we'll probably try to get some innings out of him as well. Kyle Zimmer, and that's not too bad. I mean, our bullpen needs some work. In the closing role, we currently have Lucas Sims, obviously very solid closer. We also got Luis Cessa from the New York Yankees, and Leon Richardson, who is 22 years old, but he's I believe he's in the top 30 prospects for our organization. Here's where I'm a little bit hopeful. We currently have Matthew Nelson. He is, I believe, in the top 10 prospects for our organization. 68 overall B potential, but he's 23 years old. Would like to see him develop a little bit quicker. I think 23 years old in A ball, I would say you're a little bit behind. Let's see if we can get him up to double A, get him some starts and develop him well. That's pretty much it for the catcher position. Currently with first base, obviously I would love to see Joey Votto retire as a Cincinnati Red. Don't think anyone would be happy if we got rid of Joey Votto here. Obviously, if you're a fan of his TikToks, maybe that's for you. I believe he said yesterday in yesterday's game that he's going through a midlife crisis as he was mic'd up against the Braves. But we do have him for 2 more years at $22.5 million. That is a lot of money, which honestly is entirely too much money for a team that isn't competing. We are probably not competing in 2022. 2023 will probably be a little bit more of the same. It won't be till 2024 where we will be competing. So that'll be good. He'll come off the books at that point. Obviously a tremendous baseball player. We also got Colin Moran from Pittsburgh, right? 29, 67 overall, but I think we can get some good productivity from Colin Moran. Second base, Jonathan India is kind of untouchable. This is one of the few position players on our team that is kind of the future of the Cincinnati Reds. I don't know, maybe he can be packaged for something, but I'm expecting good things from Jonathan India, and I'm gonna need him to put up with a subpar team for the time being. Donovan Solano, 34 years old, but a pretty good bat. Mediocre defensive player, but he can play middle infield and actually most of the infield, second, third, and short. So we can get him to chew up a little bit for us. He's making like 2 mil, 4.5 mil in 2022, and he will come off the books at the end of this season. So probably somebody we will let walk heading into age 35. Max Schrock, solid baseball player, 27 years old, 72 overall, B potential. So someone who, we can still get some more out of, and someone who B potential, I feel like we have not seen the best of him yet, only at 27 years old. The closer you get to 28, 29, 30, where you hit your prime as a baseball player. So that would be good to see. We also have Leonardo Rivas. Very good stuff from this guy, 24 years old, 5'10", 150. We got a good defensive player with some good speed, so we'd like to see his offense develop a little bit. He's in AA, 24 years old, but there is definitely some potential with Leonardo Rivas. Third base, for the most part, we're pretty solid at third base. I think Mike Moustakas at 33 can still hold his own. 77 overall, see potential. Reese Hines could be something solid for us. He's 21 in A ball, still has some years left ahead of him. 64 overall, 6'4" third baseman. I kind of like that. 215 pounds. Okay glove. The back could use a little bit of work, but there's definitely some potential here with Reese Hines. See potential, so maybe we can get him up to the 70s by the time, and maybe he can chew up some innings for us on third base. Brandon Drury, obviously a major leaguer, but we've got him down in AAA, can play everywhere, but may not be in our plans for the future. Kyle Farmer, very good shortstop, very good middle infielder. I actually kind of like Kyle Farmer. For 31 years old, 74 overall. Good stuff from him. JT Riddle, I feel like people have been expected a lot out of JT Riddle. Where's he played? Minnesota. Did he also play for Miami? But a lot was expected out of him. We haven't seen that. No, yeah, he definitely did play for Miami, Pittsburgh, and Minnesota. And it hasn't panned out, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully believe it will. So JT Riddle, another guy who's probably not in our future plans. Jose Torres, maybe there's something there. 22 years old, 64 overall, would see potential. We'll have to see and make decisions. We probably won't be making too many trades before the trade deadline. Probably not making any at all. We'll be starting in spring training, seeing how everyone does in spring training, and then we'll decide who makes the opening day roster, and we'll work from there. In the outfield, obviously we got a solid veteran presence in Tommy Pham, 34 years old, 79 overall with B potential, and also Aristides Aquino, 27, 76, lots of power there. Big bat, and he's got a big arm as well. So two of our outfielders right there, and even Jake Fraley. So left field looks like we may be flooded with left fielders, and somebody may be the odd man out, or we have to reposition some of these players, because we've got 3 major league, maybe not start, but a 3 position. They are definitely top 4 for outfielders, and we got 3 of them on our team. In center field, we've got Jay Allen, who's also a top prospect, 19 years old, B potential, 69 overall. We'd love to see that. Definitely going to expecting him to uh, become a solid presence in this team. 77 fielding, 86 speed. If he can work on the bat just a little bit, maybe gain a little bit of power, he's definitely going to have a spot in our future. Nick Senzel, center fielder for us. There's not much to talk about him. He's pretty good. Albert Amora Jr., coming from Chicago. 27, 68 overall B potential. We'll have to see if he bounces back in AAA and decide whether we'll go ahead and call him up. Of course, we got Shogo Akiyama as well, and hoping he can turn it around as well. Right fielder, we've got Tyler Naquin. That's honestly pretty much it. I believe Austin Hendrick is also a top 30 prospect. 20 years old, 65 overall. So another one of those guys. I kind of hope he steps it up a little bit, but that's currently where we are. Now, here's where we are in terms of salary. Obviously, like I said, Joey Votto is making a good chunk of change at almost 23 mil a year. He's got 2 years left. Mike Moustakas also 2 years left at 15 mil. Mike Minor at 9. That's a little bit concerning. I mean, I think that's pretty high for the productivity we're going to get out of him, and see what we got now the last couple of years. We got a 5.05, 5.56. Obviously, ERA isn't a tell-all. 3.59 in 2019 is probably why he got paid that good chunk of change. 4.18. Whip consistently at 1.24 for the last 3 years. So I guess that's pretty solid. Ks per 9, 8.45. Walks per 9. Okay, not terrible. FIP at 4.12. Not the best. So gonna expect a bounce back year from him, or in his last year of contract. We'll see if he gets dealt at the trade deadline. Obviously, the only 3 pitchers who, at least for the time being, are safe are Castillo, Green, and Lodolo. I think that's pretty. That would be pretty obvious move. And the last 2 starters between Mike Minor and who else? Tyler Mahle. Tyler Mahle, I think, is safe. Never mind. Tyler Mahle, you're safe. We have 4 pitchers in the future that I think we're safe. Mike Minor might be the odd man out. We may let him finish out year 34 with us, or if somebody will give us something for him, we'll go ahead and get rid of him before the year is over. Shogo Akiyama, of course, also making 7 mil and has not really lived up to it, but he's also on a 1 year. He's also on his last year, so we will see what we do about that, because he's definitely not starting in our outfield unless off the bench he is somewhat productive and we're able to keep him. Tyler Naquin, 3.5 mil. Justin Wilson, everything else looks okay. We don't have anything crazy in terms of salary except for these top 3 guys. Joey Votto, obviously 2 years. Don't see him in our future. It's not that I don't see him in our future. He's only got a couple years left. He's 38 years old, but I'd know if I got rid of him, if I try to even trade him for any sort of piece, everyone would lose their mind, because that makes sense. You want Joey Votto to end his career here in Cincinnati, but playing till age 40 is kind of crazy to me, especially making $23 million a year. Looking at our depth chart currently, it kind of leaves a lot to be desired. There's just honestly so many holes and so much that needs to be done. There's hope. That's the one thing with the Cincinnati Reds, I think, is that there's actually hope. Looking at 2024, obviously, that'll be after Joey Votto is gone. It's a something we'll have to address when that time comes. We'll cross that bridge then. Shortstop, we'll have to definitely make some decisions. Mike Schrock projected at third base, and in 2024, obviously Moustakas coming towards the end of his bid as well. Akides looking like he'll be a starter, as opposed to right now where we don't have him starting, but depends how Alan Cerda starts off. We'll probably have to make some adjustments. Our bullpen is a huge concern, and I've still not totally decided if Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo will both be in the opening day roster as, one of the 5 starters, or if one will be a spot starter, and the other in the bullpen, or one in AAA. So not totally sure what we're gonna do. Kind of want to let spring training play out, see where everybody is, and kind of readjust at that point. We do obviously have some pretty big free agents that honestly would be very helpful. Aaron Judge, after today, opening day for the Yankees, looks like they weren't able to come to an agreement, and I think Aaron Judge is walking. Do I think he ends up in Cincinnati? Absolutely not, but an outfielder is something we can definitely use. Trey Turner, Shortstop would be very helpful, especially a year from now. Kershaw, not so much. Max Muncy, 2 years from now would make sense, but we still have Joey Votto this year. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made and slightly a little bit overwhelming, but this is going to be fun. I haven't done something like this ever, so I'm really excited. We're going to be playing on Hall of Fame, both pitching and hitting on Hall of Fame. Let's play the first spring training game. Tyler Mahle starting game 1, but we're most likely going Johnny Holstaff as well as everyone off the bench. The only person who's a starter, I believe, is Tyler Stephenson, and he's playing first today. So that's pretty much it. Everybody else getting an opportunity to show something early on in spring training. And of course, it is pouring. Do the Cincinnati Reds play spring training in Florida? Because that would make a lot of sense. Playing against the Cleveland Guardians at Nate Palm Field. So I do believe that is one of the Florida stadiums or make-believe stadiums. But here we go. Shane Bieber, Kyle. First pitch, circle change. I'm pretty sure first pitch I did not have everything set to Hall of Fame, but we've gone ahead and fixed that. As we get a pitch that, real life, that's a strike. MLB The Show, you need 50% of the ball in the strike zone and not just to catch it. Good swing. Goes down to a knee. Kyle is showing off a little bit of the power. We want to see that against Shane Bieber. But we want to see what some of these guys got early on. So everyone might get some PT, especially during spring training. And then we will decide who's making the 40-man and who's making the opening day club. We ground out to Jose Ramirez. They're going with their starting lineup. Pulls them off. Beats it out. Go hustle. All right, this is somebody who definitely needs to turn it around. Not too concerned with that 190 batting average, but when you bat 190, I expect 35, 40 home runs. And a big strikeout. Listen, I'm expecting a lot of strikeouts in this lineup, but we're going to have to limit them and at least put some balls over the fence, especially in Cincinnati. A good field to hit in. Hey, Max Schrock puts a good charge to it, but that's going to be the right field, and it's going to be the second out of the inning. And we do got up the only guy in our lineup who's most likely going to be a starter. And let's see if he can show off that veteran prowess. 4.1 WAR from Tyler Stevenson last year. That's pretty solid. Hey, 3-1 base hit. Be late, be great, but there's our first hit of the spring. Hey, that's one is ripped. We put a good charge to it. Good start to the game. We saw some good things. Jake Fraley with a good poke. Now, all up to Tyler Mahle. We got Miles Straw leading it off for the Cleveland Guardians. Want to see what the control is going to look like from our ace. We'll probably get 2 innings out of him. We might even see Nick Lodolo. We might even see Hunter Green today. They are not starting the first time through the first 5 games. So since we are throwing Johnny Holstaff today, want to see a little bit of everybody. We get a K to start it off. That's a good start to the spring. Attaboy, back-to-back Ks. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Rip down the line. Tyler is there. That's going to be key. Can I get Tyler to play some first base this year and be dependable? Because we got Joey Votto there now, but, you know, maybe I give him a day off and an in-between day off, I guess, for a catcher, which is playing first base. And to them, I think they would take that as a day off. Hey, this is one of the more important guys. Shogo Akiyama. Can this guy who we gave quite a bit of money to produce, or are we expecting kind of more of what we've already seen? Shogo puts a good charge into that one. To the track, though. I would love to see some power out of Shogo this year. Maybe he'll make the opening day roster and not start off in AAA. Again, we got a lot of decisions to make from here till the end of spring training. Hey, that was absolutely ripped from Framil, but you expect really loud contact at all time with that big guy. Farmer, silver defense. I'm expecting something out of him. Hey, so far a great start for Tyler Mahle. We expect great things out of him. We're going to end up freezing a guy, and I think I'm going to go tit for tat with the Guardian starter. Depending on how much Shane Bieber pitches, we'll go based off him. However, I don't know how much they want to go in game 1 of spring training. I mean, Why are you throwing him more than 2 innings? He's already at 34 pitches through 2 1/3. All right, I'm sensing another 1, 2, 3 inning from Tyler, so probably not going to get too much more out of Shane Bieber. It's time for Shane Bieber to come out of the game. Let somebody else throw. Yep, there it is. We're going to get Aaron Savale. So that is going to also be it for our starter. Attaboy! First batter we see, Max Schrock with a base hit. Attaboy! We roll into a double play. Hey, Hunter Green will be the next guy up. His first start here in spring training, so we want to see that big fastball of his. And there is the first hit of spring training surrender. Fastball up and in, base hit to center field. Hopefully that is not a sign of things to come. We'll see what the rest of the repertoire looks like. Change up at 85 and a fastball that can hit triple digits will be great. Runners on the go. Looks like we're going to throw him out. So great throw behind the plate. And that leadoff single is erased. Attaboy! First strikeout for Hunter Green in the spring. We'll be seeing a lot of those this season. I'm sure of it. Ooh, hanging curveball. But a first pitch curveball. We don't want to get used to throwing that pitch, but I'll say this, pretty easy with the control at least so far. Gone a couple hundreds, but on the way down, I've missed a little bit. There's some perfect, and it's going to be a late base hit. You know, I'm not mad at that. Jose Ramirez took a pitch inside and ends up drilling into left. So we'll definitely see what he's got as we're going to see Hunter Green against Framil Reyes, Jose Ramirez, some pretty good hitters. So we'll see what he's made of. And if he can face adversity. Obviously, first batter he faced, he went right into the stretch after one pitch. But he ended up getting three outs, including 2 strikeouts. So we'll probably throw him for one more inning. Maybe he'll go 3. We'll see. All right, baby nap. Little base hit. Just late. Be great. I feel like all my hits have been late. Well, we hit that ball well, but still scoreless heading into the bottom of the 5th. We'll see Hunter Green out of the windup one more time. Hopefully he can stay from the windup and not go stretch. Would like a clean 1, 2, 3 inning before we turn the ball over to one of our other young prospects. And a boy gets a ground ball to Farmer. That's going to be out number 1. Good start to the 5th inning. Let's get 2 more outs and call it a good day. Bobby Bradley, I believe a first round pick 2013. Good ball player. A 3rd round pick. Would love a strikeout with a big fastball. He's kind of on my fastball at 98. So let's break him off a little slide piece. Back foot slider. He doesn't bite. Ripped. Left the curveball a little bit up. And we still got some work to do with the young Hunter Green. Still got a little bit of work to do. And a wild pitch. Not good. Now the double play is not in order and I need you to get me 2 big outs. Attaboy! Big strikeout with the changeup. Going from 100 to 83. That's something we definitely like to see. Another pitch in the dirt. Can we get us out of there? We get bailed out. We threw a couple pitches in the dirt with the slider that I wasn't able to handle. But that's going to be it for Hunter Green. Doesn't give up a run, but gave up a couple of loud hits. I don't necessarily like that. We're going to get another top prospect out of the pen, Jared Solomon, to face Oscar. And on one pitch, we're going to get him to pop up. So good signs there. We'll see. I don't believe he is in the immediate future for this team, but would like to see him develop well so that we don't have to spend too much money outside of our organization. Attaboy, we need you to cover first. He jumps out of the way for no reason, and that gives us some time. All right, let's get a strikeout, though. 2 quick outs, but would like to see a big K. Ground ball in the hole, and there is a base hit. And we got a speedy guy on first base, work from the stretch. Get yourself a ground ball and get out of here. I really wanted to see a first pitch curveball. It's a big curveball, but I've been unable to throw it for a strike with him. Runner not moving, but looks like he might be. Ground ball. We'll go to first with Farmer. 2 speedy guys. And we make the play. Good inning for him. We might throw 2 innings with him just to see. Jake Fraley with a nice little poke, but center fielder's going to slide over. And that's the thing about Hall of Fame. Not nearly as many hits as I would like. but at least it's the same thing on defense. We don't give up that many hits either. And there's the first run surrendered. Left the fastball with Jared Solomon all over the plate. And it's going to get absolutely tattooed by Steven Kwan. 372 feet to right. Definitely got a little bit greedy and just try to get one over, and he was having none of that. And a boy, way to bounce back and get us a big strikeout. The damage has been done, though. And the way these bench bats have been swinging it, it may end 1-0. Dive and play. We're actually going to end up with a base hit. All right, we got a chance of getting a run back. At least we got a hit. Hey, Stevenson putting up a good battle. Obviously going to be one of our starters. But we're going to end up striking out on a pitch right down the middle. Good slider. Down to our final out, we got Jake Fraley at the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. Listen, there's been some good stuff to take away from this team. Mainly, I believe in the future of our pitching. Our offense, we may need some work. Obviously, we went full bench with all of our offense except for Tyler. But there are definitely some holes in our offense. That's going to be smacked to left field. Good piece by Jake Fraley. Hey, there's no quit in these boys, though. Hey, we're going to give a bat an opportunity off the bench. Love that the scoreboard is stuck there on my screen, but we are going to go ahead and give TJ Friedel a chance. And we'll give him an at-bat versus Clase. It's now foggy and no longer raining here. But we do got 2 runners on and an opportunity to give us another inning of work for our pitchers. We'd love that. All right, 3 outs. We'll get another at-bat. This is probably the end of the game. If we don't end up with a base hit, we're going to end up fighting that off. We have made Clase throw 28 pitches in this half inning alone. So if we could do that more often as a team, I would be very happy. But obviously, Clase is someone who does struggle with his control at times. 30 pitches, and number 30 is on the way. This is it here. Good little poke to left field, deep, but it's going to die at the track. A solid game from the squad. They put up a fight, but it was the bench versus the Cleveland Guardian starters, which is honestly, minus Jose Ramirez and Framil, it is a bench team. I mean, the biggest takeaway, like I said, is that I think I believe in our pitching. Schrock had a couple of hits, the only guy with multiple hits. Stevenson Fraley with a hit, and Knapp actually put some good swings that I very much enjoyed. Our pitching is what I said. I feel like, you know, Melee obviously going to be solid. Green probably going to work out of some jams. 2 innings of work, 3 strikeouts, but he also gave up 3 hits, which is not very good. Solomon did give up 1 hit, which was the big fly, but I expect him to be a decent pitcher in the next couple of years, along with O'Brien. Still got a lot of young guys that I want to try out. There's a lot of work to be done. Again, like I said, I feel like pitching-wise, our future looks bright. Offensively, we've got a lot of work to do. We're going to have to make quite a few trades and develop some guys as well as through the draft. So we'll go ahead and finish up spring training in the next episode and set the opening day roster. It looked like we did not bring Lodolo with us. So we'll see if we can get him up in spring training and go from there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more of the Cincinnati Reds franchise, let me know down below. Hit the thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.